everything else fell into line. And so just making sure that you take that moment. It's okay if you don't get it all done at one time, but just take that moment, focus on that one thing, because if your main goal is focused on, you'll reach the masses. You might not make everybody happy, but you're going to still reach the masses.
Yeah, no, exactly. You'll reach exactly the people that you're trying to reach. So no, it's great. That's great. Uh, I'm gonna rewind a little bit. I'll be forgetting this. I said it on Monday. I forgot to say it yesterday. But just a few housekeeping rules. None of this is supposed to be considered business or financial advice. Definitely consult a CPA or attorney for legal advice, anything like that. Uh, please be respectful to everybody's comments. Uh, let's see. Feel free to chime in on the discussion. This is an open discussion for everybody to just learn from each other, everything like that. But so we can keep our comments concise. I ain't trying to take up too much of everybody's time. Um, but yeah, so there's a couple of rules, I guess. But yeah, we can anybody else got anything on just having a focus or having how it helped you or how you probably need to focus. Cool. But so we'll move on to the self development of the day. I feel like it's a huge thing, and one of the things that I've been trying to work on in my life, which is gonna be mindfulness, right? Being mindful of things that are going on around me, being aware of things that's going on around me, and actually like just taking in what's going on. Um, do anybody have uh any tips for mindfulness? I know we got some people out here that definitely practice mindfulness. Any tips that y'all use to get in a mindful state of mind and to be consistently mindful throughout the day?
Good morning, y'all. This is Tashina. But mindfulness is one of those things where it's gonna be kind of hard at first. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like you gonna just wake up one morning and be mindful. The therapist in me would be lying. So background, I am a therapist, social worker. But one thing about being mindful, it starts to me with like the positive affirmations of your day. So I always try to start with a positive affirmation during the day. So I have like a sticky note on my mirror in my bathroom and I read it every morning. And I have one that I read at night before I go to bed. If you want to actually do like mindfulness meditation, um, meditation is definitely something that comes over time. I always recommend maybe starting with something simple like watching a YouTube and it just being like background noise and see how quiet you can get your mind. Because mindfulness is harder to do when you're like in your own thoughts in your head. But I always recommend starting off with like positive affirmations, something that you can say throughout your day, in the morning, at night, before you go to bed. So it kind of ties into like that routine of something. So mindfulness starts with positive affirmations and then kind of go from there.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I appreciate it. Uh, positive affirmations is a huge one. I got affirmations. I probably say them twice a week, and then I just forget to say them, and they right there pinned to the top of my notes. So that's definitely a good one. Um, Bria, Bria, put in the chat that the Calm app is a great place to start as well. Uh, I used the Calm app before. Had anybody else used the Calm app or tried it? But like I said, it's that's a great place to get. It's like guided meditation and stuff like that. Just like kind of Tashina said with a YouTube video, um, things like that. Uh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Christina, the affirmation videos on YouTube, to listen while you sleep. Um, Recently, I have cut out kind of some stuff that I was doing in my life, and I feel like I sometimes I can get too mindful. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking about too much stuff. Do anybody ever feel like that happens to them as well? And how do y'all kind of quiet that down?
Yeah, no, that's definitely me. Probably the most, PJ, is like I think too much about all different things. I think right now my biggest goal that I'm trying to focus on is just being in the moment in that current time. Let me feel what I feel in that moment. And I've also like really come to terms with feelings are not facts, right? They're an emotion that you're supposed to feel. So I allow myself to feel that in that time frame, and then I really just try and be in that moment because I feel like a lot of times I never really take it in. I always think something else is supposed to happen or something's going to take it away. So I really try and do my best more recently, especially coming into this year, of just being in the moment and allowing myself to feel whatever emotion I feel at that time.
For sure, for sure. And I
Yeah,
definitely feel that. Somebody else about to say something. You can go ahead.
yeah, it's real. Yeah, I just want to bounce off of what Carmen was saying. That's a fact. And about like just being in the moment, like me being a artist, a creator, trying to be a father, a good husband, running my business by myself, don't really have nobody, doing anything else for me, man. And my mind be racing, my mind be everywhere. So like just kind of being in that moment, knowing that as long as you take care of that moment, everything outside of that, pretty much you can't do anything about that anyways outside of that moment. So be there and just work with that moment that you have and stay focused on that moment, and then everything else will work out pretty much. So that's one way I try to think of it, and just meditating and stuff like that to try to calm the mind.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Being present is so beneficial to like being present is so beneficial to just being uh where you are. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be like with your family, and business, exercising. That's another thing. I know a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us, work out to music or maybe a podcast or something. But if you ever try to like work out without listening to nothing, and actually being present in the workout, it's really a game changer. And it really boosts whatever you're trying to do, because instead of trying to take your mind off what you're doing and getting through it, you actually sitting in that, you know what I'm saying? You really sitting in that last rep or that last minute that you're trying to crank out on the treadmill or on the stair climber, whatever you're doing. That last ab set, and it strengthens your mind. So I would say being present is definitely a huge key.
That's a fact. About working out and not listening to music. I just started like walking not too long ago, and I decided not to do it with music because I used to do it with music, but I don't know. I feel like you get deeper thoughts and stuff like that when you don't have that music going on and you actually just hone in on your own mind. I agree with what you just said.
Yeah, it's a major thing. I don't remember where I first heard that at, but yeah, it's a game changer. Tanisha was saying, she said journaling also helps to be mindful. Just doing some self-reflection, asking yourself what's been on your mind, your most dominating thoughts or emotions, and that helps to create more awareness over time. Journaling, um, a lot of people say journaling helps. I be trying to journal, and then I realize, like, I be like, man, I write too slow. I got too many thoughts going on. Like I'm trying to write faster. I'm thinking faster than I'm writing, and then I'll be like, you know what? Hey, I'm just about to think. You know what I'm saying? But I probably
Yeah,
should tap into that a little bit deeper.
DJ. So one thing for me, and I agree, journaling is something very good, but I also struggle with it. It's something that I've consistently outdo it for maybe max a month or two, and then it's like, all right, it goes to the wayside. But what I do find that's helpful for me is because I enjoy talking. I think voice is one of my powers that God gave me, and so I record like voice entries and journaling because then it allows me to reflect back on that moment, and I just stick it in my notes. Especially if I'm feeling some type of way in a certain moment, I just try and talk myself through that with kind of like myself and God. So if you ever don't want to write, just try doing a voice journaling.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. And you know what I'm saying? I've heard it before, and I always don't even think about that because I be having a lot of thoughts when I be driving, right? And that's something that I need to take advantage of, just the voice notes while I'm driving. Just reading through the chat a little bit. You can go back up. Yes, Kamisha, mindfulness is important. Paying attention to your body is another thing. You know what I'm saying? Like actually knowing I'm about to. So a lot of us eat because it's time to eat, right? But really we're supposed to eat when we're hungry, and we're not always hungry. Sometimes we might be thirsty, um, or like just little stuff like that. That also mindfulness helps out. Not just your thoughts, is really like really paying attention to your body, and things like that as well. Is a thing. So definitely, Kamisha, Camille and Christina, yeah, working out without music, it's a game changer. It helped me a lot. Um, um, yeah, left the gym because my headphones died, but yeah. It's it's a huge game changer for me. Tashina said Apple dropped their journal app recently. So I'm gonna have to check that out. Y'all can check it out and just let me know. Let us know in the group actually, how it's been for you if you start using the journal app or the Calm app, what Bria talked about earlier. But yeah, this has been great. Great feedback. I already knew this topic was gonna be a banger because everybody trying to be more mindful, especially in the world of all the distractions that we have now. Anybody else got any other comments on mindfulness? Tips, tools, stories, how it helped them, situations where they weren't mindful and it killed them.
Um, it's Tashina again. Just one last plug about the mindfulness thing. If you're interested, on YouTube, you can look up sound bathing. And that's another way in helping you learn how to do mindfulness meditation. They use like these singing bowls to help create melodic sounds to help calm your. It's good for anxiety, people who overthink, things like that. So you can look up sound bathing on YouTube and see how that works for you. I've done it a few times in Charlotte, like at a park or whatever, but in person. But it's really dope if you're interested. It's called sound bathing.
Okay. I'm gonna can you type that in the chat? I'm gonna make sure that the people get all these gems. Um and just main reason of the whole thing. Want to shout out to Tashina for this. Realized like you said it, but it just dawned on me. But Tashina, like she said, is a therapist. So that's what she do. So anybody need therapy, reach out to Tashina. Do we have any other therapists on the call now? You can either say something or I know there's different types of therapists. Camille, you are occupational therapist, right? Um, but anyway, just you can let us know what you got going on in the chat. Because we need those resources, right? Having a therapist has been seen as well. I guess first of all, growing up, we didn't know what therapy was. And then once we got introduced to it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what's the purpose? You know what I'm saying? So it's like now we even just realizing like the benefits probably. But yeah, so just want to shout out to Tashina for being that resource in the chat. We probably got so many resources just among the people that's online right now, not even to mention the people that's in the total group. Just so many different resources, people doing so many different things. But oh yeah, that's awesome. Um, but cool. So we'll hop into it. Like I've been doing this whole week is uh trying to mount somebody in Black history or in the present that aligns with what the the Bible verses that we've been doing. So people who know kind of late, the Bible verse is uh Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 through 30, just talking about the ten talents, the parable of the 10 talents. But anyway, using your talents to the max ability you can and just being the best you can possible. So this dude this dude right here, and I'm about to talk about is an absolute game changer. I was doing some research, just trying to find people I thought was exemplary. I'm about to go on a little tangent. It's gonna be quick though. So a lot of the movies, there's a lot of movies, right? And I feel like a lot of movies surrounding Black people up until very, very recently has always been about trauma, right? You know what I'm saying? Different forms of trauma, different forms of things that we experience, you know what I'm saying? But we need more movies about the people who just did great stuff, right? We need more biopics about people who did great stuff. And I would say this dude right here definitely would deserve a biopic. But so we got this dude, Frederick McKinley Jones. He is responsible for inventing mobile refrigerators. So the reason why we can get food across the country to other countries, uh, this black dude, this black guy is the reason, right? And not only that, he had 61 patents. He was an entrepreneur, inventor, and engineer. He was doing a lot. Definitely maximized the gifts that God gave him. And of course, he was alive during like the late 80s, early 90s. He didn't really get the late 1880s, early 1900s. He didn't get the, recognition that he deserved during that time period. But posthumously, he got a lot of awards for the stuff that he did. But even just the fact that during that time he was able to get so many patents and he was able to actually do this stuff just shows like we are only stopping ourselves when it comes to trying to do so, especially in today's time. But also, is he also helped create audio visual movies. So back in the day, they just had the silent movies, but he helped come up with the technology that linked sound with visual movies. This dude was working, and like these are all different industries. You know what I'm saying? He invented and patented ticketing system for movie theaters. How you walk up, you get your tickets, or every time you go to the movie theater, think of a black man, right? If you don't get your tickets online. And he also invented the portable X-ray machine. Like they use that in the military. They use that probably in sports, right? They probably use it a lot in sports. Like so, this dude he invented a lot and he did a lot. Did anybody in the chat already know about this guy? Because I definitely did. So, but yeah, so that's Black History figure for today. Uh, it's been a great one today. So, Crystal says she knew about him. Shout out to that because I did not know. But yeah, it's been a great one. I appreciate the feedback. We're just gonna keep going. It's Wednesday. We meet a middle of the week. Hope everybody been having a great week so far, and I hope everybody continue to have a great week. Just trying to strive for success and be the best possible we could be. Anybody got any other comments about what we talked about today? Either core focus on your business, mindfulness, or Mr. Frederick McKinley Jones. Cool. Well, that'll wrap it up for today. Share with people if you think, you know what I'm saying, provide value. I'm trying to get this to be global, right? I'm trying to we just on call air, helping each other be the best possible versions that we can be. So, like I said, hope everybody have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow at 7 a.m.